Axe family, thank you and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to prepare rice, beans, vegetables, and I was thinking as I prepared this, maybe I should tell you a story time of just life. I mean, life happens, and sometimes we don't we don't sign for this, or we do not plan for some of the things that happens to our life. So I became a single mother when I was 6 months pregnant with my son, and I decided to be with my son and just to make sure that everything else is just me and my son. That's a decision that I made, and being a single mother is not like so easy. And the reason why I'm talking about this topic, I'm not talking about the topic just as a single mother. I'm talking about this topic because it's something that's really quite stressful, especially to if you're from Kenya, you understand when you have a child and you're a single mother, you have a child and you go back home. So I gave birth to my son in 2020, in August 2020, and I stayed with my son and decided to move back to my hometown in 2021, in July 2021. So my son was even barely a year. He was not yet a year. So I decided to move to my hometown because during Corona, I also lost a job. I did not have anything else to do in Nairobi. So I had to leave and go to my parents' home. So not my parents' home, yeah, but actually not my parents' home for the first few months, I think 3 months, and then I decided to rent my apartment because then it was much better for me. So moving back home had its good and its bad. First, you feel like you're going to start new, everything is just going, you're just going to start afresh. But I felt also better because I had my family there, and in case of anything, I had a support system just around me, and it was, I think it was a very good decision I made at that particular time because I had a small child and I really didn't know how to go about small child. So uh, after some time I moved to my own apartment, and after that's in 2020, just in the same year 2021, at around August or September, I moved to my own apartment. And so I was living in my hometown, but living with my son and also working with my dad and my mom, and it was good because I could get my salary and I could pay my rent and I could pay my bills, and life was okay. That was okay for me because life was moving on. So over time things changed, and I had to go back to my father's house. That's in 2024. I had no option but to go back to my father's house. But then I was still working with my dad and my mom. But guys, there's something I've really learned about like in Kenya, if you're a single mother and you go back to your home, like your parents, maybe like for me, I don't have judgmental parents who are going to like talk bad on me or talk bad on my son or anything. I have parents who are just amazing. They're welcoming, they're so nice, and they even made my life much easier, which was really good for me because it made settling for me easy. But you find that there are people from different families that if they go back with the children, they're sent back to go and look for the like to go. For example, if they were married, or if they were, yeah, for example, if they were married, they will be sent back to go back to their husbands, which is just crazy. So for me, because there was nowhere else to send me, my parents are not that type of people. They're not that type of people because they understand that things happen, and sometimes it's not because we choose for things to happen for us like that, but things happen. So uh, some families, you'll find them sending back their children or disowning their children, which is quite stressful because being raising a child alone is not easy in the first place, because you're emotionally drained, you're physically drained, you're everything drained. You just need a strong support system. So I just realized that sometimes in life, when for example, when I was working with my dad, and so also the people who are working there, you find that the people, even the employees, are the first people to gossip about you. They talk so many bad things about you, some that they don't. Yeah, they talk about things. Most of the time they don't talk about things that they don't even have an idea of, or the things that they don't even know, but they can really create nice stories and talk about things about people. And one thing about me is, like, I do not know how to argue with someone, or even how to like start telling them, what are you saying, what you're saying is wrong. What I will just listen, and I will just walk. I will still talk to you, but I know where I place you. And it reached a point that I was feeling so stressed, because you find that the way people are talking, the way, like, you don't you are, like, I'm the firstborn daughter, but I'm the secondborn, but I'm the firstborn daughter, because we are five. I'm the firstborn daughter, and you can imagine, when you're a firstborn daughter, the responsibilities of being like someone who is like, yes, I have one sister, and you can imagine, like, you your younger sister is looking at you like the role model, and the role model is back at home with the child. The role model is back at home with the child, and there's so much gossip from employees, from people talking, people saying this, and it's just crazy, because I don't even know how people get the energy to talk bad about other people. I don't even know what inspires people to sit down and have forum and even talk about people. Like, yeah, like, I don't know, but it's weird how, like, for example, some people that you work with, or even, for example, if they're employees like you, they they know you more than you even know yourself. Like, they know everything about you, even the ones that you don't really have an idea, you know and they're so good at really talking and creating stories, and just, you know you now look like a laughing stock, like someone who's come back home with their child, and now is here to stay with their parents, an adult who should be thinking and doing her own things. And this sometimes used to stress me, but then I'm one person who I don't give up. I will just maintain, like, working with my dad and my mom, and just making sure that none of these things got to me. And I remember talking to my dad and telling my dad I want to go back to school. My dad is someone who really supports anyone who wants to go to education. So I told my dad I want to go back to school, and my dad was like, okay, if you want to go back to school, then you have to look for a university where you want to go. Like, my dad has been super supportive on my journey. And it's crazy, because some parents will not do this for their children. But my dad, despite of everything, he still understands that I'm still his child, and he always wants the best for every one of us. He always just want the best, and just want everyone to be independent on their own. So I just don't I really don't know where people always get the energy to talk about other people, like, so negatively, and even having stories that they have no idea about. Like, it's just crazy. And the day right now, I normally ask my mom, is there any more stories about me? My mother is like, oh, they cannot say anything right now because they have nothing to talk about. Apparently all the stories are gone, because now they see you're on a different level. But I always say that sometimes, when good things are about to happen to you, God makes you go through things that makes you stronger, or the universe, whatever you believe in, it makes you go through things that are so difficult, that makes your eyes open, and even open your inner sense, so that you can see the future, and you can see who's around you, it makes you understand everyone who's around you, who they are and how they are. And that's when opportunity opens the doors. But before that, you'll be in a position where you'll have to, like, just figure out everyone around you. So thank you guys for watching.